So, according to many standards, this password right here is a secure password. It has a number, special character, capital letter. It's kind of long. I actually didn't count how long it was, but it's long enough. And according to a study by Business Tech about passwords in the workplace, 90% of people are worried about password security, and they know it's a problem. According to the Association for Computing Machinery, people log into about 15 online accounts per day on average. But 31% of people, at least, that's one of the smaller numbers I've seen, still reuse passwords, according to McAfee, a security company. And 81% of breaches, according to LastPass, a password manager, a study they conducted, 81% of breaches are due to weak passwords. So, seems like a pretty simple problem here. Just make better passwords, right? Well, so there's the problem with passwords is guessability versus memorability. So, passwords that are hard to guess are also hard to memorize, so they're not usable. And passwords that are easy to guess are easy to remember, but then what's the point? So the International Journal of Human Computer Studies said that 8-character passwords are 17% likely to get cracked in their study, and 75% of 5-character passwords were cracked. So just 3 more characters made it a lot harder to guess. So, there are purpose-built computers that are really, really powerful at guessing passwords. Offline, they can guess about 350 billion passwords per second maximum compared to a list of breached passwords. And online, they can guess millions of passwords per second, just brute forcing your account. So that's a lot. And easy passwords are really easy to guess because online you can just grab a list of the easiest passwords and you can compare it to an account or a breach that they were able to take. So what's the solution here? Well, it's actually pretty easy to make a secure password that's easy to remember. So based on these recent studies, the National Institute of Standards and Technology has updated their password suggestions to be easier to use. Before, people suggested special characters and capital letters, numbers, and they forced you to make your password more complex. But complexity makes it marginally harder to guess your password. According to all the recent data that I have mentioned previously, length makes it much more complicated while also making it easier to remember because they're not forcing you to use all these special characters. Their suggestions are make it at least 8 characters, and they're to increase the maximum amount of characters because a lot of companies and online accounts actually limited the number of characters you're allowed to use to 16. And they're also increasing the characters that you can use. So now they're suggesting that you can use Unicode and ASCII characters. So now you can have emojis. So this is actually somewhat of an ideal password. You can kind of see there's a phrase hidden in there. And it's easy for you to remember, but it's really difficult to guess because it's got an emoji and it has the special characters are random. So they're not in a place. People like to, according to the study of the National Institute of Standards and Technology, people like to put their special characters together. So at the end, so between words they use dashes and underscores, and they capitalize first letters, which makes it really easy to guess because they just take one password that's really common, and then they just vary it by capitalizing the beginning letters and adding exclamation points at the end. So it's really not any more secure, but they've convinced you to think that it's secure. The expert suggestion for password is 12 characters long. That's what they consider to be ideal between usability and guessability. And as long as you use special characters like this, it can help make your password more secure. Also, using a password manager is okay. Password managers have kind of become taboo. Like, you don't want to have your passwords all in one place, but really they're secure because it helps you make yourself more secure online. Because with a password manager, it's really easy to use really long, completely random passwords, and then you just have one really secure password that you can use for your password manager. And if one account online is breached, you can just change that password because every account you have has a different password. And it's also okay to write it down. People have made this crazy thing about writing it down isn't secure. It's secure as long as you don't leave it like a sticky note on your computer with your password, because obviously that's not secure. But if you write it down and you keep it with you, you don't lose it, it'll help you remember a more secure password, and when you're done, you can just destroy it. So with a password manager, the ideal number of characters would be a 16-character completely random password, and then you'd have a secure password for your password manager. Here's a GIF that should explain to you how it works. There you go. So simply increasing the length of it makes it much more secure and more difficult to guess than just using special characters. This GIF was generated using How Secure Is My Password, and it's an easy tool for you to enter a password and see how actually secure it is compared to some of the other ones that just do it based on length and complex characters, even though it might be really easy to guess because it's just a variation. And also, a problem with using one password for everything is, remember Neopets a long time ago, if you use the same password for your Chase account as your old abandoned Neopets account, then they can hack into this website, which isn't secure at all, and steal your password and then get into your financial information. So that's another reason why you want to keep different passwords. So, what you need to do to stay secure is use a password manager to help you. There are free ones, and they're relatively secure, and if it is compromised, it's easy to change your password and change all your passwords all at once and make them secure. You can write it down, change passwords after a website is breached, and be careful where you enter your passwords. If you get a website with a link that takes you to enter your password, don't follow that. Usually they tell you where to go, and you can do it yourself. And just don't be the easiest person to get. Your password doesn't have to be really difficult, but if it's more difficult than everyone else's, then you're pretty much secure. Use special characters thoughtfully. Don't place them in easy places like between words. And use two-factor authentication when possible. So this is when you try to log into iCloud and it sends a message on your phone, or when you're logging into Google and they send you a text. This really helps you increase security because even if someone had your password, they'd also have to have your physical device to get in. And be careful how you manage your password recovery. So if you sign up for a website with your email and they get into your email, they can reset your password. So be careful with that as well.